Greetings and welcome to the New World Rising News for November the 6th of 2015. Got some news hot off the press today about an American icon called National Geographic. Apparently, they've been taken over by Rupert Murdoch and 21st Century Fox. So I have a headline here today from trueactivist.com. And the headline is, Rupert Murdoch takes over National Geographic and immediately lays off hundreds. So here's the article. When news broke that Rupert Murdoch, the evil overlord of Fox News, had purchased National Geographic, it sent shockwaves of panic through thinking individuals everywhere. After all, National Geographic has traditionally been one of the most well-known sources of scientific information, and Fox News has not. While National Geographic promised that there would be no editorial meddling from 21st Century Fox, Murdoch is already getting involved in other ways, which is typical for him, specifically by laying off hundreds of the staff that made the company worth acquiring in the first place. Staff members, all of them, were ordered into the office on November 3rd unless they were traveling for business, on vacation, or otherwise not there. So the letter they received telling them to come to the office says, after very careful and serious consideration, we are ready to communicate how our restructuring and transformation will affect each employee at National Geographic. To that end, please make every effort to be available tomorrow, November 3rd. And if you're planning to be out for any other reason, make alternative plans so we can be in touch with you. Please watch your inbox for important information about your employment status tomorrow. I cannot thank you enough for your patience and hard work over the last few months. I'm proud of how our teams and our organization have approached and responded to this transitional period. Looking ahead, I'm confident National Geographic's mission will be fulfilled in powerful, new, and impactful ways as we continue to change the world through scientific exploration, education, and storytelling. Now, I gotta tell you, most people know that all of the media in America is owned and controlled by the establishment, by the power brokers, by the 1%, who have agendas that they impose on life and who use the media for social engineering towards those agendas. NPR and National Geographic seem like two of the last strongholds, but I noticed NPR going downhill several years ago. I started calling the National Petroleum Network, because they're all about oils and war and politics constantly. So I figured they somehow got taken over. And now it seems National Geographic is the next one that'll bite the dust and be used as a mouthpiece for the establishment. So after they got this message, the staff waited one by one to be called into Human Resources to learn their fates. No one knows how many will be axed today, an unnamed source inside National Geographic told News Photographer magazine. The staff is sitting by their phones waiting to be called down to HR. Politico reports that ultimately about 180 employees, or 9% of the workforce, were subject to quote-unquote involuntary separation, while an undetermined number of employees were offered voluntary separation agreements. In a statement, National Geographic shared its side of the story. The National Geographic Society and the National Geographic channels are in the process of reorganizing in order to move forward strategically following the closing of the NG Partners deal, which is expected to occur in mid-November. Folks, it looks to me like they've been taken over. The entities combined have about 2,000 employees, and all staff have been advised as to their status. Involuntary separations will represent 9% of the overall workforce reduction, many in shared services, and a voluntary separation offer has also been made to eligible employees. Well, the fact is that the people that were let go were the editors, the photo editors, the video editors, the story editors, the people who would be sure to continue propagating the iconic content of National Geographic. Now, who knows what they'll be used to perpetrate on the people. So yeah, they axed a bunch of photo editors, including picture editor Kim Hubbard, 28-year veteran picture editor Nancy Lee Ott, photographer Michael Nichols, and many others. Among those who were the first to be let go on Tuesday morning was also one of the magazine's top picture editors and one of the magazine's page designers who, according to several photographers, was the best designer on the staff. The CEO of the National Geographic Society, Greg Nell, tried to claim back in September that there won't be an editorial turn in a direction that is different from the National Geographic heritage. Nathaniel Downs of Reverb Press wrote of the layoffs Tuesday. Murdoch's move today only served to prove Nell's words were hollow, with hundreds of talented people now served their pink slips, and with the recognition that Murdoch's other enterprises do not reflect the standards held by National Geographic, and with Murdoch's history of changing the editorial direction of purchased properties, today's move indicates that we can expect a similar shift or hit for National Geographic. One must wonder how National Geographic can maintain editorial control when many of those who were separated from the company were the editors and the decision makers. Will we soon be seeing headlines like global warming, the scam of the century, and who needs polar bears anyway, gracing the once reputable publication? Only time will tell, but this sudden layoff of a large percentage of the staff does not bode well for any who were holding out hope that the Fox merger would not permanently damage the integrity of National Geographic. I gotta tell you, when I was about 8 or 9 years old, the only thing I wanted to be when I grew up was a photojournalist for National Geographic. And I ended up going to college and studying cultural anthropology with the goal of actually attaining that dream. And I still dream of it, but not if it's owned by Fox Murdoch. Yeah, this is like the crashing and burning of my dreams. It's not going to be what it was anymore. Now it's associated with Fox. I boycotted Walmart years ago, and I never shopped there. And I never would, even in emergency. I wouldn't be caught dead there. And I feel the same way about anyone associated with the establishment, such as Fox. Major bummer. You know, this establishment already took over the entire health food and health products industry, made sure to get their GMOs and pollutants and what have you in there, so that everybody could end up being poisoned and dumbed down. Now National Geographic's going to be taken over by these people, and they agreed to this. You know, so NPR went down in flames, in my opinion. National Geographic's going down. And all these lost strongholds are going down, the last strongholds. So all we can really do, I think, is hope for new things to emerge that are just as good or better. But as far as I'm concerned with this headline, it is definitely the end of an era. And it's really sad. They're totally tainted and contaminated now. It's like when Amy's Foods and Tom's of Maine and all of them were bought up by subsidiaries of Monsanto. It's like these fuckers are everywhere. There's no escape unless you grow and make everything from scratch like a pioneer. So that about concludes today's episode of the New World Rising News from November the 6th of 2015. I hope you enjoyed the story. Take care and take it easy, and remember to be the change that you wish to see in the world.